Welcome to Community Connections with Children's Services Council of St. Lucie County. I am just your host today, Sean Boyle, and who's not with me is Ashley Mock, my normal co-host. But welcome to the half-hour best way you can spend your time learning about what resources and things that are available for children and families in St. Lucie County. Now, we at the Children's Services Council, besides hosting this wonderful radio program on 104.5 The Flame every Sunday at 10 a.m., and thanks to a wonderful partnership with WLX, the education channel, this radio program is also a monthly TV show that's all about connecting you, the listeners, and the viewers to what resources are available to children and families. We at the Children's Services Council do 5 things for our community. Those 5 things are: 1, make sure every baby's a healthy baby; 2, stop child abuse before it happens; 3, keep kids off the streets; 4, keep them in school; and 5, keep them off drugs, alcohol, and other risky behaviors by offering programs and resources to all families in St. Lucie County. Now, we utilize this time on the radio program, of which it feels like I'm talking a lot because I don't have a co-host with me, but we utilize this time on the radio and TV show to connect you, the listener, to resources. So whether it be for your family or your neighbor's family or your congregation's family, you can find what you can help connect people to resources when they need them, to make sure that they have a great experience and bring up great children here in St. Lucie County. Now, I should say at the Children's Services Council, those programs, those 5 categories that we provide in, we actually fund 50 programs, and those programs, you can find all that information about all those programs on our website, which is www.cscslc.org. And if you're like, Sean, look, nobody goes to websites anymore, we want an app. We do actually have an app. If you go to the Apple Store or the Android Store, look up Children's Services Council, that same information is available on there as well. Or if you're old school like me and you're like, Sean, I'm not downloading an app, I'm not going to your website, we actually do in fact have paper brochures, paper program guides that list all the resources that are available in our community through the Children's Services Council. And again, we want to make sure that you are connected to those resources, and you can be the hero in your community by connecting those that you know and love to resources as well. Now, before we get to our guests, and we have a wonderful guest here, and I'm very excited, not only do we have wonderful guests, but we actually have youth that participate in the program here, so it makes this show extra special for us here. But I want to announce a couple of things. First thing, I mentioned one of our priorities is making sure every baby's a healthy baby. And in St. Lucie County, every mother, when they give birth in St. Lucie County, they're eligible for a nurse home visit, meaning when they come home with the greatest responsibility they are ever going to have, which is raising our youngest citizens, a nurse will come to their home, check on the health of the baby, the health of the mother, and I always say the stress level of the father, because I've been there and done that. And that program reached over 84% of all births in St. Lucie County took advantage of that program. And that program has saved mothers and babies' lives, but more importantly, it's given new parents confidence as they raise their youngest child and make sure that that baby's healthy. We have recently put together a survey. It's available on our website, again, www.cscslc.org. We want everybody to fill it out, and we're also working with several local churches and organizations to have this brief survey, only 5 questions available on it, because we want to find out, 1, if you know about the nurse home visitation, 2, if you would refer somebody to it, and if you don't know about it, how we can better communicate with you, and also what other resources you need in your community. It's a way for us to not only communicate, but engage the community. So I encourage you to go to our website to complete the survey. Again, it's like 6 questions. I promise you, you'll be in and out in less than 5 minutes. Again, cscslc.org. But if you have a business or church that would like to distribute these surveys and become part of the community conversation to make our community better, let us know. You can call either myself or Ashley at 408-1100, and we'd be happy to connect you with that. And one more thing before we get to our guests, and it's really the perfect segue to our guests. Summer is here. We're talking to the young man that we're going to meet here in a second. High school seniors, they're pretty much done with class this week. Summer is upon us. If you don't know what your child is doing for the summer, now is the time to begin to think about it. Staying at home while you're at work, playing Xbox and watching videos, probably not the best way to engage your child and make sure that they have a good summer. I've done that before. I promise you it's not the best way, but we have summer offerings available through the Children's Services Council. We fund after-school programs. All 16 of those locations become summer programs during the summer, and plus we funded and made available an additional 13 programs to better service and make services available for our community. And the good thing about all those resources for parents that are listening, children, you can turn this part off for a second. For the parents and grandparents that are listening, all these programs have an educational component built in, whether it be literacy or career exploration, to make sure that that child, when they start the new school year, hasn't slid behind and is on par so that they can be successful in that upcoming school year. Plus, they're all fun as well. Of course, you have to have fun, right?
Absolutely.
Right? So make sure you check that out. Again, all that information is available on our website. I keep plugging our website, but all that's on there at www.cscslc.org. And if you're like Sean, nowadays, who goes to websites? You can find us on Facebook as well. We post all this information on Facebook. Just look up Children's Services Council, St. Lucie County, like our page, and you'd be surprised how many families and parents communicate with us on Facebook through messaging, and we always take it upon ourselves to get back to you as soon as possible to make sure we connect you with the resources that are available. So I've talked enough. Ashley's not here to banter back and forth. I'm not going to give her a hard time about not tracking her steps on the healthystlucie.org Billion Steps Challenge. We'll save that for another week. But we do have a great guest. We have a great program. A lot of you have probably heard about it before through their production of Daddy this past year, which I think was a huge, huge success. But we have Strather and Sonia Dupree from the E.N.D program with us today. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much for having us.
So let's say somebody's been living under a rock in our community the last 6 months, and they're like, I've never heard of Daddy, I've never heard of E.N.D. What is E.N.D?
E.N.D stands for Everybody's Not Doing It, and it is an independent 501c3, and we help to prevent at-risk behaviors in preteen and teenage youth, and we give our teens alternatives. You know, a lot of times when you tell our teens and our youth not to do something, we want to give them something else to do it. As you stated, we want them to have fun, but they have fun in doing things that are good and positive. So we try to seek out different resources for the youth and parents for really cool things for them to do. And we include the arts and music and music, graffiti. We use a lot of cool things that kind of brings out the creativity in a lot of youth. And Daddy,
Yes.
tell them what that is.
So as a part of our arts program, our performing arts program, we teach our youth different topics, different subjects. So it's character building education as well as preventative education. And once we get the concept down within our team, then we create an original production to bring that message to other youth in the community. So E.N.D is all about creating a positive peer environment. So once they have a concept and they learn something positive or new, preventative, then we create something to take to affect even more teens and bring education awareness to other families as well. So Daddy was the name of a production we did based on human trafficking and the information that we had. So it was created by our team, written by our team, performed. Josh here created some music for it that he performs at the end of it. We also have some, of course, acting, singing, spoken word, different productions may have different elements. And again, like he said, positive alternatives to stir the creativity in positive ways instead of things that could get them into trouble.
And if any of our viewers have seen Daddy, they walked away impressed, not only with the production and the message, but just everyone's performance and the fact that all the youth contributed. And I remember you at the Sunrise Theater performance.
Oh yeah, yes sir.
Yeah, I saw it a couple times.
Yes.
Different variations of it. Was that good? I saw it a couple times, right? So I don't want to confuse our viewers and listeners, and I'm half giving you a hard time. This is Strather Dupree, but he also goes by Skip. We don't want to confuse anybody. If you just say Strather or Skip or both, he will come.
I will.
But can you kind of give us, because you mentioned something that I think is very important. You know, as a parent, we were talking about parenting before we kind of went on air, if you will, and I have an 18-year-old.
Yes.
And if one thing I've learned as a parent is if you tell a child not to do something, that doesn't work.
Right.
That direct, like, you know, like, don't touch the stove. Now the child's like, I want to touch the stove,
Or
Yes.
right?
don't look at the camera, right?
Right. Or as we said, don't look at the camera before we went on, and you're like, now I want to look at the camera.
Right.
But you have to give them creative alternatives and ways to express themselves. And that's why it's so important that after-school programs, and particularly your program, focuses so much on the arts and music. But can you kind of tell us a little bit of a history, like how did this program, I mean, because it's kind of been gaining momentum throughout the years, and now it's like, I think everybody's heard about it.
Yeah, well, it started in our office, in our home, And we were cleaning our office, and I found a piece of paper that was up under and in between books, and it said "End it," and everybody's not doing it, and it had this some horrible graphics. But anyway, long story short, but it was a really cool
Did he
concept.
just throw somebody under the bus?
No.
Oh, you? Okay.
But it was a phenomenal concept. So I asked Sonia, I'm like, what is this? So she said that this was something that she was thinking about doing, and but now was not the time. We were both working full time and whatnot, and it was just not the best time to do it. So I'm like,
It's
this
for when
is,
I retired.
Yes.
That's what I told. When I retire, I'm going to do this.
So I'm like, this is amazing. We have to do this. So I pushed.
After
and
you
pushed
cleaned
and
up the
pushed.
graphics.
Yes, yeah. The graphics came later. But what we did is, we went ahead and we got started, and started the organization, and we started in our living room with about 13 girls, about 13 girls, and we started off with just females. And one of the things that sparked, and Sonia can probably tell this story a little better, is that we have all daughters. And what our oldest daughter was dealing with in middle school, a lot of the peer pressure and not fitting in, and dealing with self-image, concerns, really just trying to identify who she was as a young lady. That was the motivation to really start this. And then a lot of the pressures that was coming at her, and some of the things that we saw in the community. So with that being said, we started, and it gained momentum. The girls program, we really started our first summer camp program we did a pilot program in a year, and then it grew and grew and grew, and then a lot of the parents was like, what about my sons? So in 2013, we started the boys program, and Josh was actually one of our first
Yes,
boys.
sir.
I was listening
Yes,
to your
sir.
song today about the first chill.
Yeah,
But,
I was not too.
But it's just it basically is an organization that really is inclusive. It is a family unit in that we include the parents in a lot of the things that we do. And as you stated, Josh's mom may tell him not to do something, but if I say it, then he goes back and tell her, this is what I need to do. And she's like, well, I already told you that.
Right.
Well, it's the same thing. Is that, sometimes it's the reinforcement that helps.
Yes, sir.
As well as by us, when we do our shows or productions, now the youth are telling other youth, which they'll listen to each other a lot faster, than they'll listen to us. And then because they're a part of the creative process, they speak the language and the trends, whereas we may be about 10 years behind and trying to say something cool, they really know what to say and how to relate. They make it relatable. And then the same things we've said, like don't talk to strangers online. That's the way we say it. But to each other, it's different, and they're really acting it out. So.
And I think that came across, if anybody who saw Daddy in your productions, because the youth are involved in writing and producing whatever performance piece that you're doing. So it really
Absolutely.
speaks their language, if you will.
Absolutely.
Because that's the other thing I learned from being a parent is I don't speak their language.
Right.
I don't use their technology all the time either.
Yeah. And the worst thing to do is to pretend to speak their language. So
Yes.
we don't do that, but we get their input, and they're very much a part of it. And I get corrected,
Yeah.
right?
Yes,
Yes.
sometimes.
I get corrected. I observe a lot, even in just being in the environment with them regularly. And as we pick up ideas and the script and all of that. Like I pick up on how they relate to each other, what they say, how they react. So it's like always a part of bringing it together.
So "End It" is and it stands for Everybody's Not Doing It, which I think is phenomenal. It's very clever, right? You hear acronyms all the time, and you're like, why would you make that an acronym? But this totally makes sense. It's a arts-based, performance-based summer and after-school program.
Yes.
So, and I like the fact that you focus on or emphasize teenagers.
Yes.
Because a lot of times when people think and look for an after-school or summer program, there's a vast variety for programs for children ages 5 to 10 or 12.
Right.
But it's hard to find programming for kids older than 12
Yes.
that most importantly, and Josh, you're going to attest to this, that they're actually interested in attending and they actually have an interest in. So,
Yes, sir.
so Josh, you were one of the first teenage boys to participate in the program?
Yes, sir. I was one of the first, and honestly, it was probably the best thing that I've ever done. This program has honestly changed me, and it's changed the way I look at certain things. And it doesn't only help you get better at your arts and stuff because you're performing with them, you're practicing, but it also helps you become a leader. Like I'm a leader in most of the stuff I do now because this program has shown me ways. Mr. Skip or Strada DeFree, he's showed me ways. He's shown me things behind the scenes because it really is a family. We're closer than anything. So that's really what it is.
That's outstanding. So,
Yeah.
so for the young people that are watching the show, you're going to help translate what we say to make it cool, right?
Yes, sir.
So we were talking before we went on there. You're getting ready to graduate.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations.
Thank you, thank
It's
you.
your last week of school.
Yes, sir.
So what do you think you've taken away from this program? Because I know you're an artist because I've seen you perform.
Yes, sir. What have I taken away from this program in my artist standpoint? Honestly, they've given me confidence tips. They've given me keys to perform in front of audiences. So that's what you can take away from the art side of it. But if you're talking about the moral side, you know, they help me with my morals a lot. And anything I need, they're always there for me. So it's always a safe place for us, no matter what. It's like a family, honestly.
And to have the experience, we talk about this a lot of times around the Christmas time because we do the Sounds of the Season concert, which you guys participated last year. And I believe you were there as well.
He was Santa.
He was Santa.
Yeah. Now that I was like, now it's because you're wearing red. I put that together.
Yes, sir.
But and the opportunity to perform, take out that it's the sunrise. 'Cause who can say they perform at the sunrise? But
yes,
the
sir.
opportunity to perform, the ability to get up on stage, express yourself,
Yes,
and the
sir.
confidence to do it, that is huge.
Yes,
sir.
I mean, you know, most people are, I mean, I don't know about you, but we're probably a little nervous right here on this right now, right?
Yes, sir.
Exactly.
And there's nobody in the audience.
Yes.
Imagine when there's, 1,200 people. So
Yes,
sir.
that's outstanding.
Yes, sir.
And one of the, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, they really help build the confidence. They're really genuine people. Everybody that goes there, genuine. All the people that run it, genuine. I haven't met anybody that's not about what they say they're about in this program. Everybody has a mission and they want to strive to complete the mission. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
There you mentioned it before, there's another positive role models in the community, adult role models.
Yes, sir.
There for you whenever you need them, plus all that peer support. And I love the fact that you've grown, as you said, to be a leader.
Yes, sir.
Because you're going to take that with you no matter where you go.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, sir.
So the E.N.D program, the summer, and we're going to get back to you, so don't relax
sir.
too much. the summer and after school program. So, part of the reason for this program is to connect people to resources. So I know that there's somebody listening, and I know I just spoke to a listener of the radio program, and hopefully she's also tuning in to television, that listens with her grandson who's 16 years of age.
Oh, awesome.
So what can they expect? What's the number that they can call to get enrolled or to explore the program? And when they make that phone call, we kind of like to try to break down all the barriers.
Sure.
So what's that phone conversation going to be like?
Okay, so the way our process works, our phone number first is 772-924-0470. 772-924-0470. And what they can expect is when they call, a staff member will respond. What we like to do in our process is to have a meeting with the families that are joining, one-on-one, either with myself or Skip or another volunteer that we have, so that it's not a, we want to keep it close-knit. We want not just to find out more about their family and the youth and any struggles they may have, but also for them to learn more about us. Who are Skip and Sonia, or what is E.N.D? What do you do? What do you believe? What are your, your values? So we want to have that type of introduction, so that we like to plan more towards the summer as far as what the youth may be going through. If there's a common thread, okay, we're gonna, tap into peer pressure really hard this summer, or whatever it is, if it's, drugs or temptations with different things. So we like to definitely get a feel there, and for them to get a feel for us. The registration fee is only $10, and that includes a shirt. So you're basically paying for the shirt, probably. And then after that, we will have an open house orientation on June. I shouldn't have started that sentence because I can't remember the date.
But you can call and find out.
You can call and find out, definitely. And I will tell you. But online as well, our website is our registration papers. And then there's also an application for financial assistance. So we offer partial and full scholarships. We will never turn anyone away for money, for anything. So so first a phone call or go to our website, which is everybodyisnotdoingit.org. It's really long. If you want to go directly there, everybodyisnotdoingit.org/summer18, and you'll find the paperwork there for both. Again, then give us a call or email. We would like to meet with you, and then we take care of everything right there. Then all of the families that are involved are encouraged to come to an orientation or an open house, especially since we're in a new facility. We're really excited about that. And that will be the week before camp starts. And I was told by the teens not to say camp, so we were calling it a summer experience.
Okay. See? Learning something new every day.
They're not campers.
They're not camps. That's a very good point. It's an experience. So, is it a full day experience?
It is a full day experience.
I learned.
Yeah.
It's a full day experience.
9 a.m. to 5 p.m., Monday through Friday.
And you mentioned a new location.
Yes.
So,
We have a new location. It is at 804 South 6th Street in Fort Pierce. It's in the Sunrise Center Plaza. So it's on the corner of Georgia Avenue and 6th Street in the plaza right behind the big Dollar Tree. It's on US 1.
that's exciting. And now we're going to go through summer for the summer experience. And then you're going to have to help me, Josh, on how to word this next thing. So for in the fall, after summer's over, the after school experience?
Yes,
Okay,
after
after
school
school
experience.
experience. Yeah,
Not after school, okay, yeah, after school.
I wasn't, yeah.
Yes.
It will be the same, it will obviously turn into a after school experience.
Yes.
Do the hours shift then?
Yes. So the hours then will be from 2 p.m. till 6 p.m. That is because especially high schools get out earlier, a lot earlier. So 2 to 6, and again, it'll include the arts, it'll include homework assistance, tutoring, and we're so excited to be able to just be a full-time program now. You know, like you said, starting from the office, and then, you know, being here, you know, it's great.
That is great.
It's great. Yes.
So I know that there's going to be, and I'm pulling back to, again, we were talking about being parents and our kids. I'm thinking of my child who is very creative. But he lacks confidence. So he doesn't think he's a good artist, for example, but he really is. Actually, my daughter's a good artist as well. So if somebody's listening, and let's say it's because I'm sure the mothers and grandmothers are like, oh, you sign up, you'll do great, because that's what we do. But you want the child to come in, eager as well. So
Right.
Is it automatic to assume they have to be great at whatever they do?
No. And one of the greatest things to see, I think, and you've probably seen it as well, is when we have youth to come in kind of under the radar. Like, anybody like to try this? No. They don't really want to get out front, and they just kind of giggle in the back. And we have something for everyone. So because it's original, we create what we want. So if it's someone that wants to act and they're not quite, they're still very shy, then they're going to be doing something in the background, but you're going to be on stage. You're going to be able to participate. If they are just really that determined that they do not want to hit the stage in any way, shape, or form, of course, there's, video, photography, there's props. But it's one of the most beautiful things is to see someone who started here end up, like, they'll eventually, there's no pressure, there's no, I never do.
You just kind of want to do it.
You just want to after a while.
Do after,
and
after
it's
time.
It's like no matter what we call it, and he keeps saying the same thing, we call it, academics, we call it arts, we call it whatever, but they all say, each person privately and anonymously, they say it's like a family. So to them, everything is just family to them. And so to see them, I think it's what they're doing is getting comfortable in their family environment to where, now I trust you to try this here. Right. And it's just awesome to see.
We have a lot of youth that, again, they never thought that they would want to even be in a production. And they come, and because the environment is inclusive, and that every individual, there's no bullying. We ensure that there's not any type of, we have something in that we use with the youth. If you put somebody down, you got to give them 3 put-ups. So as relates to the environment, it's not a place we don't tolerate putting anyone down. So even if someone's not gifted in this area, we still try to give them encouragement, but then also try to bend them in the way of an area that they are gifted. We have one young lady who was actually our makeup artist, and she shied away from the camera for a while, and she didn't want to be an actor or actress, and she is one of the best makeup artists, that we've ever seen. She's phenomenal, and she's also acting as well, so which is great.
Dancing out front. Yes.
So Josh, you mentioned it that when you came to the program that not only did Sonia and Skip give you confidence, but the other young men and women that were in the program gave you confidence as well.
They definitely do lift you up, and it's a good I want to say vibe, but it's a good like atmosphere to be in. It's a good it's not you hear summer camp and you think, you know, I'm gonna be I'm gonna be treated like a kid, I'm gonna be treated like that. They really do give you your own freedom to grow into a person and build your confidence up. And everybody there is on your same mindset. They're in the same place you're in. So it's not like someone's different from you, someone's here. So it's not as spread out. Everybody's, you know, in the same, they come from the same situation, basically.
Right.
So.
And just so you know, I think we understand what the word vibe means.
Okay, yeah.
So I understand that you are a musician.
Yes, sir.
And we talked a little bit backstage before we aired about how your music direction kind of maybe made a turn because of your involvement in the E.N.D program.
It definitely did. It definitely it gave me. Before, you know, I was writing, but I wasn't writing with a purpose, and this really showed me that there could be a purpose behind the meaning of your words, and music is something to be taken seriously because people listen to this and it affects people's actions. So my words can influence somebody, so I want to do that in a positive way, and I think that's what they showed me.
That's outstanding.
Awesome.
That's outstanding. So how old were you when you came to the program?
I was about 14, 15,
Oh, wow.
15, yeah.
Wow.
So
So
You're younger than that.
yeah, 13, 14, 15, somewhere around
In
there.
middle school?
Yeah, middle school.
Middle school.
It was like 7th grade.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
So Josh, not to put any pressure on you,
Yes,
and
sir.
Sonia and Skip are right here,
Yes, sir.
but I know we have at least one 16-year-old that listens to this program, so recruit him into the E.N.D program.
Recruit him into the E.N.D program. Okay. Honestly, do I just look at that? E.N.D. To come to the E.N.D program, I honestly, you would come to get closer to people and honestly build relationships. The E.N.D helps you build relationships, and it helps you honestly grow as a person. Not saying you can't grow as a person without E.N.D, but it definitely does help you grow, and they help you honestly find your goals and stuff like that. So anything you want to do, just come to E.N.D. We got it for you. So arts, anything you're interested in, we're here.
That's a pretty good spokesperson right there.
Yes.
That's right, and we've got that on video now, so they can clip that out and use that as recruitment. Well done, well
Yes,
done.
sir.
Now,
Thank you.
the E.N.D program, everybody's not doing it, and it starts in the summer, and the website is spelled out, everybody'snotdoingit.org.
Yes, make sure you do is, not everybody is not doing
okay.
it.
All right, so everybody is not doing it.org, or you can call 924-0470.
That's correct.
Now, we got about a minute or so left. Do you have an idea of, because we've talked about the arts, and the arts is, you know, a pretty broad term. So obviously you do music, you do drama, you mentioned graphic arts.
Yes.
What am I missing in there?
Visual arts.
Visual
so
arts.
like with the props, painting. So the idea is that the different arts teams work together for the production for one common goal. And yeah, so helping to build props, painting, sculpting, you know, things that have to do with, you know, a specific topic or something we're learning. We also have, we did music, graphic design, performing arts could be, you know, all of that, rap, singing, dance, spoken word, all of that is included in there.
The idea is to help the youth and teens to utilize their creativity in positive ways.
Yes.
So,
And so the good news is I asked that last question before we head off here, is there's really something for everybody.
There's something for
And there's something
everybody.
to grab somebody's attention and an outlet for them to express their creativity and really to express themselves.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Well, we want to thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll have to have you back. We'll have to have you back.
you.
Josh, best of luck on graduation. I'm
Yes,
sure we're going to
thank
hear from you.
Thank you. Thank
Yes.
you.
And
Thanks to CSC.
yes,
Thank you.
and remember,
Thanks.
again, the number is 924-0470. End it for summer and for the upcoming after-school experience.
Yes, sir.
Got it,
Yes,
Josh?
sir. Yes, sir.
It's a weekly radio program, monthly television program. We want to thank you for tuning in, and remember, it's our children, our community, our future. We're all in this together. We'll see you next time.